I've written about it on some social media posts about now how athletes now qualify for the Olympia. I know you released something saying they'd have to do the end of August qualifiers, but for me, I've been speaking to various people in the industry, and we're looking at kind of several possible options. Relaxing the qualification like it used to be with top three, relaxing the point system, or aside from the people who've already qualified, doing like an invitational like they do with the Arnold Classic. Have you got any thoughts to how that will? I mean, obviously I know it's happening. Things are changing day by day. But how are you? Can you give us any information on that?
Well, let's just say there's a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D.
Yeah.
Right now, we're only working off of plan B, and plan B is real simple. Jim Mannion, Tyler, the Pro League, everyone involved around the world on making sure that events get properly rescheduled.
Yeah.
The ones that were canceled. There's a lot of people working very hard as we speak right now to make sure that those events happen. And if those events happen, we won't have to move past plan B. We'll be fine. Now, just so everyone knows, in the past, the Tampa Pro, which typically happens the first weekend in August, that's the sort of, we call that the last chance saloon, last opportunity to qualify for the Olympia for that year. We've already moved it so that the cutoff goes to the very end of August. So if nothing else, all the events that take place in the month of August will allow an athlete to qualify and will count towards the qualification system for this year's Olympia. So that's the first thing. If a situation were to present itself where we had to move off of that, which no one anticipates that's going to happen, but if it does, then we'll go there. But it's important to mention that right now, as we speak, it's already over 100 athletes have qualified for the 2020 Olympia.
Yeah.
So the situation is not as dire as people think when it comes to athletes. Now, I realize everybody has their favorite, and I realize that there are specific situations where guys are trying to get in and qualify, and they had planned to do certain shows, and we're certainly going to do what we can to make sure it all works out in the end. But right now, we're just focused on getting these events on the schedule and making sure that each one of these pro shows is stocked with great athletes competing for a chance to get into the Olympia. We're not looking to give away any free passes or make it any easier, because the Olympia represents the best in the world, and we want to make sure we uphold the integrity of that qualification process. But I think we're going to be in a better place than you think.
So how many shows are there in August for athletes to qualify for the Olympia? 3? 4?
I don't know, and I wouldn't even say, because I know literally as we speak right now, because I just spoke to Jim Mannion minutes ago.
Okay.
They are in the process of identifying which weekends certain events are going to get moved to. So
they're moving them. Right, okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts. My suggestion would be go to the ifbbpro.com website in the coming days, keep tabs on the schedule, and you'll get all that information.
But say for example, you got Big Ramy, Steve Kuklo, and Dexter Jackson, and those 3 guys decide to do 3 or 4 of those shows, and they occupy the top 3 in every single one of those shows. What then happens to the guys who come 4th or 5th who might have otherwise qualified if those competitors hadn't been in those shows? Do you see my point? What happens?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, let's be honest.
Or is it a qualify and move along and let somebody else qualify?
Yeah, look, the system doesn't change. The system is created, first and foremost, the goal is, a lot of people think that the whole system is built to accommodate an individual athlete's pathway to get to the Olympia. Now, of course, the whole infrastructure of the Pro League is built around qualifying for the Olympia and getting to the Olympia stage. Yeah. That we all understand. But once you're at the event itself, you have to win the event to qualify. And that model has been built, and it works. And it really upholds the quality of the Olympia lineup. Yeah. And if it happens to be where somebody shows up having already qualified for an event for the Olympia, and they win another event, well, that's just the way it goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Right now, that's the way that goes. Now, I guess in theory, we have the point system. And if it was determined, after collaborating with the Pro League, if it was determined that they wanted to go further down that list, well, that's a conversation we could have at some point. But that's not something that we're looking at right now. Right now, you have to win a contest, get to the Olympia stage, and we don't have any plans on changing that.
Just say example like Big Ramy now. I just wonder. I suppose he's just going to have to do one of the August shows, isn't he?
So Big Ramy is the example, right? Because everybody's looking at that. He's in the top 3 right now in the current points. So if the Olympia were to be held today, Ramy would have a spot on that stage.
Okay.
Now, so from that standpoint, we're good. Now, if more events took place and he got bumped out of those top 3 spots on the top 3 or top 5, I can't remember.
Top five at the Arnold Classic for points. Yeah.
Top 5, right?
Yeah, it's a tier 2 or tier 1 or something.
Right. If it turned out that he got bumped out, well, then yeah, he would have had to have competed in a show to accrue enough points, or better yet, enter a contest and win it.
Okay.
And I will tell you this. I know there's a lot of bodybuilding fans out there that would love to see Big Ramy compete in the New York Pro or in Tampa or in any of these events. And we're hoping that he's now encouraged to do that. But right now, you got to win to get in, or you got to qualify on the points. And there's not going to be any exceptions made unless there's a unique set of circumstances. Last year, there was something unique that transpired. If you guys remember, with Cedric, he had some military obligations, and it sort of put him in a spot.
Yeah.
And he put in a request, and Mr. Mannion accepted his circumstances, and he was allowed to compete in the Olympia. And that's something that we always take on a case-by-case basis. But we'll see how it goes.
Do you envisage Hadi Chupin have any problems